Hey there, it's Shauna. So, as we are moving toward the full moon in Leo, I was thinking a lot about the symbolism of the sun. So, this is because, number one, Leo as a sign is ruled by the sun. And so, always when we have a lunar cycle, the sun, of course, is tied into that equation with the moon. The moon and the sun are intricately connected. And when we have a moon in the sign of Leo, the sun is even more influential because it's kind of like things are pinged back to the sun in a way that they wouldn't normally be in any other sign. Also, I've just been working a lot with sun energy this past year or so personally, and so I wanted to share with you just a little bit of what I see as helpful ways to engage with sun energy. And so when I say this, I'm not talking just about sun sign, because although that can be helpful, especially depending on how strong or influential the sun is in your birth chart, just looking at the sign, like any other planet, just looking at the sign or even just the house can be kind of flat. It's kind of like one-dimensional. So we all have, in our natal birth chart, we all have a point where the sun was when we were born. So that's going to be different for you depending on the day, the year, the time, and even the place that you were born. So as it is, I like to think about just what is it that the sun symbolizes in general, and we can work with that energy in our lives every day or every week or just whenever we need it. So the sun is a symbol of spiritual energy, like that energy that inspires you, that motivates you. It's a little bit different than physical energy because Mars is more about muscular or physical energy. But the sun is like that thing that gets you excited about stuff. It's like the energy inside of you that you have to share, that radiates out of you. And sun is also related to masculine energy. It's a yang presence. For that reason, it's also associated with the father in many times in people's charts, or the more masculine caretaker role in their lives. Sun is also associated with confidence, with willpower, and it's like having this the ability to move yourself through the world, the ability to take initiative. And again, this can, in some cases, depending, it can be Mars that has these qualities of taking initiative, but I see Mars as more of a physical force, like when there's something that requires physical effort, versus the sun is more about spiritual effort. It's about spiritual energy, spiritual resilience. Like you have the drive, the desire to move toward something that is exciting to you, or even just to get through a really tough situation. So we can, this gets more nuanced when we work with the other planets, especially outer planets that the sun comes into contact with. And so this is really important for highly sensitive people, because I notice that highly sensitive people who have their sun and their birth chart in aspect to an outer planet, or rather, that can be an indicator of a highly sensitive person, and this is going to be different depending on the planet. So Sun, Saturn, and this can be conjunction, opposition, square, etc. Any kind of geometric relationship between the Sun, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Those are all going to really flavor the sun in a person's birth chart, or if they're having transits from that planet to the sun. And so what this looks like is this person's life force takes on the energy of that planet. And then this is also going to depend on if you are a day chart or a night chart, if you were born during the day or at night. If you're born during the day, your sun is going to take more of center stage, and it's also going to tell us about the other planets in your birth chart that are major players for you versus others, and that's a whole other video. But just looking at the sun and the contacts that it is making, again, especially by outer planets, that's going to be super impactful. It's going to kind of take on the flavor of those planets. And then looking at the house in your birth chart that is ruled by the sun, which is ruled by Leo. So wherever you have Leo in your birth chart, that's going to show us where this sun energy is going to express itself. And so there's so many, I posted on Instagram today, there's so many different potentials and possibilities as far as how things can play out. So someone may have a very similar astrological pattern, but then depending on their upbringing, where they were born, their family, the experiences that they have throughout the course of their life, things are going to be different depending on all those different nuances. And so all of this, so I was thinking about all of this, two different things that I want you to take away from this is, number one, we can always invoke sun energy into our life by doing things that invoke confidence and like a desire to shine, a desire to move towards something. These are all sun things. And if that is something that maybe you're struggling with right now, let me know and we can do an astrology consultation and totally get into all of that stuff. Because a lot of times, I find especially with Sun Saturn, it can feel difficult to connect to that sun energy. And it's just a matter of redirecting and finding the outlet for that, so to speak. So you can always do that. There are flower essences that are really great to strengthen sun energy, that spiritual vitality. Fantastic one is sunflower, and then I've also been playing with buttercup as well as really nice sun flower essence. And essential oils, of course. Let's see. Frankincense is great. Sandalwood is great. Clove is great in small amounts. So those are, and then of course exercises that work with the solar plexus area and core strength and lion's breath, things like this can activate sun energy. And I think it doesn't matter what the technique is, but just something that brings you a sense of feeling energized can be healthy to work with that. And then the second thing is to get to know your sun signature and your birth chart. So not just your sun sign, but what other planets are an aspect to your sun, what house is your sun located in, but even more important than that I find is more helpful and kind of helps you understand is what almost dropped my phone there, what house the sun is ruling. So what house Leo rules in your birth chart, because that's going to give more information on the area of life where you really shine and where that life force can come through you. So I hope that was helpful. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think, and if there's something that you're working with right now and you want some assistance, let me know. I do offer astrology consultations online and then also in San Diego, and we can definitely work with decoding your sun energy. And this is especially great, again, if you are feeling that you want to work with your sun energy if you are feeling disinterested, lethargic, if you're feeling like spiritually lethargic, like if there's not really anything that's exciting to you right now. I find often with people that I work with, when they go through a transition, there is a period where the things that excite them or used to excite them no longer do, and they're kind of in this transition period before finding what it is that is exciting to them. And this happens a lot with transits because things change. when a transit happens, it's not like Saturn passes over your sun and then when it's done and that's it, and you go back to normal. Like, there is no going back. And I think, and I say that like that's a good thing. It is you're changed through just, like any other experience. You go through an experience that is intense, whether that's pleasurable or non-pleasurable. It changes who it is that you are. And so all of that being said, if you are interested in working with your sun energy more, definitely let me know. I would love to do a reading or a consultation with you to help you figure out how to work with that energy inside of yourself so that you can feel super happy and bright and connected to your heart. Wishing you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.